What's up, guys, and welcome back to the FSP Transmissions YouTube channel. Today we have a 2007 Hummer H3 equipped with a 4L60E. Customer dropped this off with no second, no third, and no fourth gear, and the car was throwing multiple codes. Now today we are going to be doing a complete assembly on this 4L60E. I've spent almost $2,000 worth of parts just to get everything back into working condition. It was that bad. So let's go back to last week so you guys can see exactly what we were working with, and then we'll catch up with you in a second. $191,476 on the odometer. It's been sitting up here for a while too. It's crazy that the battery ain't dead.
True that.
Dealing with all these Dodges.
They're always dead.
Every day. I've got a Zurich. This thing works pretty good. And I'm sure I'll get made fun of on YouTube for not having a snap-on. But if you guys just keep watching these videos, we'll be able to afford it. Really, truly. We're just going to manually shift it here, 1 through 4, and see how it does. First feels pretty good. It's not wanting to manually shift into second. Yeah, we do not have second gear here. Very slight second gear, not a lot. Yeah, we have nothing. We only have first gear. So we are going to limp this back to the shop, and we'll catch you guys in a second here. Little baby drive shaft. Look. I didn't plan on recording this whole entire removal process just because it's so like you're looking straight up in the air. If you guys want me to record a whole entire process like I kind of did that Dodge that day, let me know. And the next car I get in, I'll do a a full video on that, then a full teardown video, then a full build video. Oh, about to lose a finger.
Hers way deep in that bell housing.
There's the old Hummer there.
Comer.
Here. Oh yeah! Wow. Yeah, it's bad.
It's not great.
This thing smoked. Not great. Filter feels really loose in that grommet right there too. We'll start breaking apart. You hear that? How brittle this is? Listen. Just breaks. And a new wire harness is nice plastic. It's not like that. So if it does that to just the wire harness, imagine what it does to the gaskets. Imagine what it does to the seals inside of this transmission. All right, so here we go. You can see the color of those solenoids, right? You see how new that looks? And you see how old that orange looks? That's what the old solenoid used to look like, and I'll show you an example. All right, so here's your two shift solenoids. You can see this one's a little bit newer and this one's old. This one's overheated and it's been through cycle after cycle after cycle. These are brand new. Yeah, this thing's freaking. that bushing is not all the way in. That's one thing. So this input shaft has not been riding square with that bushing. Good chance that there's a bind in here or something. Man, that thing does not feel good. Reverse input drum is smoked. This thing looks like a U. It's beveled out. You can see if you come up here, this is bent out. See how it's flared?
Yeah, you can see
it.
it.
Flared out? Yeah. Oh, wow.
Where's the snap
That's
ring?
why reverse felt so screwy.
The
There's
snap ring
right
popped
here.
off.
I mean, it sits in that groove. I've never seen a spring perch just eject off there. It had to have been a builder's error. Yeah, there's where all that, that's where it got so hot right there, because it was riding. And remember, it felt odd.
Oh yeah,
you could hear it.
It was herky jerking in reverse.
Yep. That's exactly why it was herky jerking in reverse. All right, there's Paul's one. This is smoked.
Yeah.
All right, another problem with these 4L60Es is the input shaft. Sometimes it'll be pressed out because the 3 or 4 clutch pack channel, the fluid channel is very close to that this in here. So it'll actually leak if you don't Loctite this input shaft. And it looks like they failed to do that as well in here.
Look at that.
Or it's just worn out. You do see it off, but this drum is going to have to be discarded for sure. We can pull the pistons out of it, but we're not going to reuse the pistons at all. This is basically just scrap. All right, so again, like we just went over, this thing's absolutely obliterated.
Oh yeah.
The planetary feels okay. That bearing seems like it's freaking seen some wear. Oh, they've got an aftermarket reactor.
Softened sunshell.
That's hard to sunshine. Might be a softened by the time we're done with it.
You should wear gloves.
Yeah, well. You want to hear my argument to that?
No, probably not right now.
My argument is I'm a very healthy person. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't take drugs. Okay? So if I want to touch a little bit of training fluid, I'm going to touch some training fluid.
Give it the old tombstone pile driver.
Can't lose an anti-clunk spring. Those look okay. I mean, definitely going to replace them.
Yeah.
But, yep, lower planetary's on its way. You can feel it starting to walk there. Yep. One's going to have to be replaced as well.
That's that Sully meme when it goes,
Yep, this pump is taking a hit. Right there. You can feel it with the end of the seal pick. Not as much on that side, but right here, that's definitely going to leak fluid. So we're going to have a brand new reman pump stator to go on this too. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you continuously drive the vehicle. And you don't get this stuff checked out. This rotor is going to have to be replaced, and I guarantee that this gear body is going to be bad as well. Yep, you can feel a line right here. You can see it right there all the way around. That's going to lose pressure, and it's not going to work right. So When you get these in here and you get them apart, you do them right. You don't go in here and try to replace that and try to get by. These 4L60Es do not, they don't like that. You've got to go back in with basically all from factory parts in order to get these things to work back properly. Even these guys went in with some aftermarket stuff, but it doesn't look like
no band-aids.
They didn't go back with a boost valve in there. We don't know if they went back with new electronics or not. All we know is they went in here and replaced a couple things. They probably replaced the 3 and 4 clutch pack and just put everything back else in there together. They did go with a dual cage sprag, but it's wrapped up like a freaking lasso. Yeah. So I mean, we'll be back with the build video. I'm going to try to do the build video this if we have the time. Thank you guys so much for the continuous support. Hurricane Helene came through and almost took us out, but we're here. We're back making videos, and we're happy to have you. Okay, step one is assembling your servo. We are not going with a Corvette servo here. We don't want to break the input shaft on this V6 Hummer. So you've got your housing here, spring, and then your cap. Slide your stem in, spring, washer, E-clip. Now this snap ring is going to be installed here with a foot press. Okay, now we're going to install our Teflon rings, one up top and then one more down here onto the bottom. Now you can see here that your Teflon rings are basically flush with your servo. None of the Teflon rings are sticking out, because if they are, it will get into a bind in the bore. Now this slides over the bottom like this. Piston goes onto the top. Teflon ring goes around that piston, just like so. Cap goes over the top. Now your blue O-ring goes onto your cap, and your green O-ring goes right below it here. And now your spring and your servo is complete. Alright, we got our brand new pump stator here, freshly cut, remanufactured. We've got to put our boost valve in and our torque converter clutch valve, and we're going to assemble this here. We're not going to do the pump vane. If you guys want to see the assembly of the gear body, I've got another video up on my YouTube. I'll put it in the description. 13 vane pump rotor, and we're going to put this pump together real quick. Alright, we've got our main pressure regulator valve here. We're going to drop that in. Top hat faces up towards you. And make sure this goes all the way down into your bore there. Now, we're going to be installing the 4L60E boost valve from Transgo. This is a 500 thousandths boost valve. This increases pressurized response for use in trucks, police, taxi drivers. You can get out there and fly in a damn taxi if you want to. Nothing like a dang taxi shifting in second, chirping the tires. We love it. It also reduces the 3 and 4 clutch failure, so it raises the line pressure a little bit, because you know how far this 3 and 4 clutch pack piston is away from, how far away it is from the clutch pack. So let's install this real quick. All right, here's your orange performance spring, and then your smaller secondary spring. That goes right inside of the other one. Make sure those are down flush. Okay, so this valve tends to fall out because it is steel. It's a bit heavier and it'll fall out in the bore, so I like to put a little bit of Vaseline in there just to seal this up. Now you'll see a squirt come out of here. Bam, and you can use that residual here up on top to lock this little spacer into place. And we're going to walk this spacer down all the way to the bottom. Bam, that should seal nice and good. We're going to drop this right into the bore. And here is our new snap ring. We're just going to check our valve here and make sure it works. That works good. Boost valve is now installed. Now your torque converter clutch valve, there's a spring that goes in the bottom. This is a 2007 model, so it has the internal speed sensor and the later version torque converter clutch valve. We're going to drop that right in. And we're going to put our little cap right over top of it. And finally here, our snap ring goes right into the floor. Now you want to make sure that snap ring seats into its groove. You can see that snap ring is seated all the way, and this one is as well. Alright, so I like to put the two closest holes towards me. We're going to put just a little bit of fluid in here just to start things off. We're going to be breaking this in on the lift, so just a little droppy drop, and we're going to drop the stator right through the gear body and align this up with our pump alignment tool. Okay, make sure your pump alignment tool is tight and all your holes align. All of your bolts here, which are 13 millimeters, should just screw right in with no effort at all. We're going to tighten these down, and then we're going to put our Teflon rings here, and we're going to put our filter in back here. You can see your Teflon rings are installed, and we are going to go ahead and install our brand new internal speed sensor, because the vehicle was throwing a speed sensor code, and we just want to make sure that all our bases are covered. This is our washer here. And now we're going to take this pump and check it inside of the converter. Now this converter should spin freely, and that looks really good. That means that the pump gear and all the vanes are not too big for the pump stator or anything like that. It's not grabbing. This feels really good and smooth. Okay, to begin assembly, you need to start out with your parking gear here. Inspect it down here, make sure there's no deep cuts or anything like that on your journal where it rides in the bushing. You're going to put your bearing in, and then you're going to make sure this bearing stays in place and set your lower planetary inside just like that. It should spin, and you can put a little bit of tranny fluid on those gears if you want, to lubricate everything up. Now you've got 3 square seals that come in the kit that goes on your low reverse piston here. I've already got them installed. There's a tooth here that notches into 9 o'clock on the case. After you've tapped your low reverse piston into the case, you can then put in your spring perch, and you'll need a low reverse spring compressor tool to do this. After you have your spring perch compressed, you need to install the lower snap ring. Now you need to make sure that that snap ring is installed all the way. Put your screwdriver in and just twist, pushing that snap ring more into place. We do have our washer here, or we do have our bearing here installed, and we're going to drop this right into the bottom, into that hole. Just like that. Next is your low reverse clutch pack. You can see the notch there on my thumb. Drops into the case at this location. After your wavy, you put in a steel disc. And then you alternate friction to a steel disc until you reach the top. After you install your low reverse clutch pack, next is your anti-clunk spring. Next is your center support. Now I have already installed the snap ring here above the center support. I just wanted to show you where I gap this at. I gap this right at the anti-clunk spring. That way it doesn't lift this snap ring up and expose this at all. So that way the freaking center support's not going to pop out of it and ruin your transmission. And here's our sun shell. And we've got our bearing. We've got our bearing there on our ring gear. That slides right in above our sun shell. And I also have my bearing here on top of my upper planetary. And that goes in with the neck facing down. Now you're going to feed your output shaft up through the bottom. Bam, I heard it bottom out. Let me find my snap ring. And here's your forward sprag assembly. These are new retainers. They can be a little tough. Windows facing left. Make sure the center turns clockwise. Alright, we have our new forward input drum here. We need to start out by putting our O-ring down here for our seal. Make sure that's flush all the way in. Now we're going to put a little bit of lubrication down in the bottom and drop in our 3 and 4 clutch piston. Just like that. This is like your old style 700R4 forward clutch hub here and your piston. The new style is a molded, just like this, and it seals inside of that housing. It's just a better design. Now we've got our cone here. We're going to take our shell. We're going to take our shell. This is your 3 and 4 applicator shell, and then your spring perch here. And then you're going to drop this hub and piston inside just like this on top of that spring. And we're going to lower this down in to the housing. Now we're going to lubricate the top of that other piston and drop our overrun piston in. Now we've got our spring perch here. This is a 2-piece, has a cage or like a flat piece on the top and the bottom to keep this together. The old styles were just the spring perch, and they were known to go out. Now we're going to install our snap ring inside of there. We'll be right back. All right, you start out here after you put your snap ring in. This is your overrun clutch pack. Steel, friction, steel, friction. This is your input to output shaft seal. This is very important. And now you put your small bearing at the top. Now you can drop your forward sprag assembly in there. After after our overrun clutch pack, we're moving on to our forward clutch pack here. You start out with your thick disc. This is a wavy right above that. And then a normal steel. Now you're going to alternate friction to steel all the way to the top. And when you get the steels in your kit, you know, the forward clutch pack's normally predetermined. You're not going to add another friction in the forward clutch pack. The 3 and 4 clutch pack's a little bit different. So again, just alternate to the top. Bam. That's Hot Spot McGee right there. I don't want to use that. Now this clutch pack is predetermined here. When you get brand new steels for them, you double check. I think one's 87 thousandths and the other is 90. But when you have 5 of them, that adds up to 15 thousandths. So if you're too low, you're going to be too low on the clutch pack, and it can wear over time a little bit quicker. You can pause it. And you're going to alternate friction to steel all the way to the top. If you want me to do a video on strictly just clutch clearances, let me know, and we can do that next time. Today we're just doing a demonstration, and I've already predetermined all of these clutch clearances here. Now you're going to put your return springs in. And finally your top plate and your snap ring. You should have a little bit of walk here. And your top clutch should spin freely just like this. Alright, we got a brand new reverse input drum for this guy. The other one just exploded basically. Almost took out the case too. So we're going to stack this up. A little lubrication there in your drum. You'll need your silver cone there. You're going to walk your piston down. Here's your lip skizzard. And run that around like that. Just rotating the drum as you go. There she goes. Let's find our spring perch. Now, here's our spring perch, and we're going to go use the foot press and get the snap ring installed. Okay, you're going to start out with a wavy, and the small diameter end faces up towards you. Next is a steel, then a friction, steel, friction, steel, friction. You know, what's wrong with it? Look at it.
Oh, it's got crotch spots.
After 4 frictions and 4 steels and a wavy, you're good to put your top plate in there and your snap ring. you'll have a little bit of up and down here. That's when you know it's locked in. Next is your 2-4 band. I'll have to find our pin here. Now you can see the band is installed, and we do have the band anchor right here. Next, alright, now our pump does not have a seal. There's only a seal in the case here. Again, make sure you got your washer on the bottom here, and your Teflon rings on, and your filter is in the back here.
Can't see it yet. Your till's too. There it is.
There's your filter. Remember to put that in. Alright, I see it all the time. Builders will go back in and rebuild the transmission, and they will forget, or they will neglect to change these O-rings out on the back of the pump. These bolts are super crucial, and they get hot super easily, and you'll end up with a leak super quickly if you don't replace them. Okay.
That's good. I don't need too much of that.
Alright, first things first here, you want to get your wire harness plugged in. And we did go with a brand new wire harness because his other one had overheated pretty bad. Push that down there just like that. Now we're going to... This filter is special. It's got a special slant to it.
We're past it.
This thing's about slow as Methuselah.
Got it, Leroy?
Yeah, go ahead. We got it in, we got it assembled, we got it installed. We're going to take it out for a ride now. The 2007 Hummer is done. Hopefully the customer can come pick it up today. But let's hop in here and take it for a ride. Now there's second gear. We didn't have no second gear before, so we're already off to a good start. Going into third now. There it is. You can feel it too. That freaking Transgo plate, you can feel third in them. This is exactly how the Preacher's truck felt. The S10 that I did, that V6, it felt exactly like this. You can feel it going into third. We're still in third here. I'm not going to drive it too hard. I'm going to tell the customer to take it super easy for the first 2 weeks. This thing's got 191,000 miles on it, and a lot of times the 4L60Es will go bad because the computer is bad. So I'm just going to make sure that if any codes come up here in the next 2 weeks, that he addresses those codes, because it could result in a brand new transmission failure. So we're getting up to speed here into third and clicking into fourth. There's fourth. We're in D. We got to check engine light, so I'm going to stop it right here, not go any further until we figure out exactly what that check engine light is.